Hey, welcome to this, your Wiley Manager 3-minute crash course. Today, Jed, we're talking about the 9-box, part of the succession management process.
Yeah, the 9-box process, which is really basically a tool by which you can assess the talent in your organization.
Right on. So Jed and I talk at length about this in our full-length podcast, which is available, again, on iTunes or at the Wiley Manager website. But very quickly, Jed, maybe you can describe exactly what a 9-box is, because otherwise it's just kind of an abstract thing for me.
Sure, it's basically it's a 3x3 matrix, which gives you, Bob, 9 boxes.
Hence the name 9-box.
And on the x-axis of these 3 boxes, you would measure an individual's performance. So you'd have low, medium, or high performance over a period of time.
Sure.
And then on the y-axis, so the vertical axis, you would try and assess an individual's potential. And again, you could, because it's a 9-box, you'd have 3 levels: the low, medium, or high potential.
Right.
So there you have, the myriad of places you could put people within this 9-box, from, high potential and high performing to low potential and low performing, and everything in between.
Right. Yeah, and the fun part is that as opposed to just regular the way usually people just take a look at performance, but you get what the 9-box does is it forces you as a manager to say, well, have I got anybody who's a high performer but low potential?
Yeah, most organizations would have some sort of measure of performance, whether that be your typical performance appraisal process.
Right.
The part of the discussion that gets missed in assessing talent is the potential part. So that's where the 9-box adds the values. You also assess the individual based on their potential, which you could measure in a few different ways. Low, medium, high. High might mean the individual has the potential to move up in the hierarchy at least 2 places.
Sure.
So 2 promotions. The medium one could mean they have potential to move up, yes, but only one probably based on what we're seeing right now. And low might mean they're great within the space in the organization in which they currently find themselves.
Right on. So can you have an employee that's a low performer but high potential?
You can have. You can have folks fit anywhere in this box. So if you have something that's low performing and high potential, you might argue that individual, man, we see this kid's got a ton of talent, but for whatever reason they're struggling in their current role. Maybe that current role just isn't the right spot in the organization for them. Maybe it's the wrong role. Great employee, bad placement. So let's talk about, I don't want to let this high potential employee go. Where could that individual add some value in the organization?
Right.
And that's the power of the discussion.
So it's a very simple tool, a powerful tool that both you and I have seen used in various places with great success. We assign people's names to these boxes, and then we build action plans around, okay, if that employee you were just talking about, somebody that is, we think they're high potential but somewhat low performing, we build action plans to get them out of that low performing rut into a place where they actually could, in fact, be a superstar.
Indeed, that's the power. So
without the benefit of the 9-box, that person could end up just exiting the organization. You think, well, another failed experiment.
They'd simply be low performing. Without that potential consideration, again, you might be losing some talent that could help you elsewhere in the organization.
Right on. Okay, well, very good. Well, that's a very good teaser for what we talk about on the full-length podcast. We invite people to go, again, pull that off iTunes, or you're welcome to go to the Wiley Manager website at www.wileymanager.com to pick up the whole discussion between Jed and I, as well as we've got some visuals on this thing, too, so you can actually see what we're talking about.
Very good, Bob.
We'll see you next time, Jed.
Thank you, sir.